Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger is the start of an interesting sub-arc in the Super Sentai series. With Jetman supposedly saving Super Sentai, the next few series decide to get experimental with some elements of the show. This is thanks to how many new names got brought on for writing and production of the series. Instead of the heavy sci-fi and military theming of previous Sentai series, the next few series would get more fantastical with their aesthetics. I remember it was a big deal when Shout Factory announced that they would bring Zyuranger and later so many more Super Sentai and Kamen Riders to an American audience, because for so long, if you want to see the original versions of these shows divorced from the Power Rangers adaptation, you would have to seek out fan subs, which are still used to this day, but it's nice to have more official releases of these shows to recommend to newcomers. But how is Zyuranger itself, and does it hold up? Look, I really want to like this show, I really do, but unfortunately it lacks one of my favorite aspects of Super Sentai, fun characterization for our heroes. Especially coming off the bombastic personalities of Jetman, the Zyuranger cast doesn't have many unique traits from one another to set them apart. None of them are bad characters, and towards the end they start developing unique traits from one another, but outside of Geki, aka Tyrannoranger, I didn't really grow attached to any of them in the long term outside of their rare focus episode. Hell, Bandora's crowd of bozos usually have more personality and even character development than our heroes, especially in the final arc where we learn Bandora's motivation for making a deal with Great Satan and her confronting her dead kid Kai. I know Zyuranger is often criticized for over-focusing on child subplots rather than our main heroes for its episodic plots, and while I do agree the execution of these plots hurts the show, I don't mind the idea of them as a way to show our heroes protecting the future of the world, which is naturally the children who will grow up in it. It's a sweet sentiment, despite the mixed execution. I think the most fondly remembered part of Zyuranger and its biggest contribution to the Super Sentai formula is the introduction of the Sixth Ranger trope with Burai, the Dragon Ranger. Burai starts off as a villainous antagonist to the Zyurangers, wanting revenge on his brother Geki thanks to some past kingdom politics that involve them getting separated, which challenges Geki, with everyone around him saying he should kill Burai while he values redeeming him and regaining his lost brotherhood. It's probably the best stuff in the show since it actually expands on the characters and truly challenges them in a personal way. I especially love the ending part of Burai's arc, where his time to live has run out and is forced to confront death, but he does so with a smile after saving a kid from Bandora's monsters, which leads to yet another bench-related Sentai death. Overall, I find Zyuranger's impact much more interesting than the show itself, but it's not a bad show. In fact, I can see why a lot of people would love it, from its gorgeous aesthetics, funny villains, how well produced the action is, even has that whimsical childlike charm I'm sure someone might be into. However, I found the lack of distinct personalities for a main cast of heroes a huge detriment to my investment compared to other Sentai series. Between that and it following up one of the best seasons in the Super Sentai franchise, I do see why some may outright dislike this show, but on its own merits, I think Zyuranger is a show that exists.